Welcome, everyone. Welcome, our friends from all over the world. I'm your host, Alexander Palma, and today we are here with Jill-Marie Pasquinelli. Welcome, Jill. Such a pleasure having you here with our community today.
Thank you, Ale. It's a pleasure to be here. It's wonderful. It's very meaningful for us all to be together at this time. And I'm loving sharing the We Are Ones with my colleagues and all of you. And believe me, we need it as much as you do. So this is a wonderful, wonderful gift for all of us. And just us being able to be connected with this beautiful gift of JIN SHIN JYUTSU is really meaningful and special in my life right now, and I think all of our lives. So today we are going to be experimenting, working with our 22s. Our 22s are located right under the clavicle on the left and right sides. Find your clavicle, that bone that goes across here. And this is a perfect time for 22s because 22s are helping us to adapt and adjust to life, to our circumstances, to what is. And this is quite a time we're in that is carrying a lot of weight. The crisis of the pandemic and the hardship and the uncertainty that we all feel. And for many people, this pause has actually brought a lot of additional pressure in terms of jobs, economy, security, children being home and being homeschooled, our frontline workers. It's a difficult time. And there's a lot to deal with. And then on top of it, the crisis of the racial injustice and the inequality that has just really hit a tipping point, has exploded. So how are we going to grow into all of this now? And I can't think of a better, more opportune safety energy lock for today, our 22s. So this is really a remarkable historical time for all of us. And what are we going to do with it? Personally, today, talking about adaptation, today the gardener right out my window is mowing the lawn. They're tearing up the street, repaving the road. The dogs are upstairs scratching on the door. So today is a day for me to walk my talk and adapt to what is right outside my window. And so we'll hold our 22s. And 22 is known as the master builder. It represents the union of mind, heart, and spirit. So as we hold our 22s, let's just see if we can let go of the tension and stress. So 22 is a master number, and there are 3 master numbers, 11, 22, and 33. And they carry an extra dimension of spirituality. So it's a master number that carries the spiritual insights of the number 11, which is the highest vibratory number for our seventh depth. And seventh depth is the universal light. So it expands the powers of 11. This is the divine energy brought into the material plane and put into form. So 22 is also a 4. And 4 is about manifestation, is always about manifestation. And so we have that grounded aspect that is a part of 22. And 2020, the year we're in, has an extra dimension. That's also a 22 that carries spirituality and manifestation. '22 is complete. It's all inclusive. All of the mental, emotional, and physical forces come together here as one. Mary called 22 our terminal station. It harmonizes all of the elements. And all of our organ functions take a rest at the 22s before they depart on their own pathways. So in other words, everything passes through the 22s. They're about gathering and dispersal. They gather all of the 144,000 functions that we are, and then it disperses them on into their own pathways. '22 is a safety energy lock within third depth, our third depth. And one of the elements of third depth is ether, which is the vehicle of spirit and intuitive energy. Let's move on to holding one of our index fingers. I'm wrapping my hands around my right index finger to begin. And our index finger will help our 22s. So this is another way we can help our 22s. Just dropping our shoulders. We know that our index finger is associated with fear and fourth depth. And I have something from the Bhagavad Gita. Fear not, What is not real never was and never will be. What is real always was and cannot be destroyed. What a message for these times. Moving to our opposite ring finger, not ring, excuse me, index finger. Adapting and adjusting to what is right now. "22 is one of our mind specialists. Helps us to develop reason, to have inspiration, and to be in touch with the spiritual side of nature, of ourselves. So it works with our mind, our attitudes, This is very important that the 22s are open so that things don't back up into the head. Right? We have to keep it's important to keep our 22s open. So there's another self-help I'd like to practice with you. And LA, can you put up the second slide, please? So that's the location of our 22s. And then we hold the upper left arm with the right hand. This is called high 19. And so we're on the upper left arm and we come to the opposite the right inside of the knee, but up about 2 inches. And there's a little hollow there. We call that the high one. Mary said that this is the most powerful self-help that we have because it clears the chest and the shoulders. And when the chest and the shoulders are clear, we have nothing. No problems. No projects. So by opening the chest, we're helping the lungs, we're helping the heart. We're also helping the threes. Remember, we've had several We Are Ones focusing on the threes. That's the tip of the upper part of the scapula, between the scapula and the spine. That's where the mediator enters, where the mediator is born. And that is the beginning of all of our disharmonies. If that is not open, we call it the swinging door. So this self-help is helping us with all of that. And then we have the high one, which is helping us with our digestion and movement. And where you have movement, you have health. So we're helping our circulatory system, our respiratory system, our digestive system. We're helping everything. Changing sides, we'll hold our right upper arm with our left hand and the inside of the left knee up 2 or 3 inches with our right hand. So like I said, the 22s help to prevent things from backing up in the head. The movement of the main central vertical is down the front and up the back. And as it comes over the head, if the 22s are blocked, it can't descend, and then things can start to back up. So for anything in the head, headaches, migraines, strokes, we want to make sure that our 22s are open. And lastly, let's return to our 22s. And as you feel along the clavicle, you may find a spot that is hard or full. And we want, as I've been saying, we want to make sure that our 22s are open so the energy can descend down the front. And also our exhale, so we can exhale and let go. And one way to work with this, if you feel a fullness in the 22 or a hardness, hold, for instance, your left 22 with your left hand, and then the left high one, that place inside the knee where we just were, with the high 19, the upper arm, and the opposite high one. So we're in that same place above the knee, the inside of the knee. And this will help the 22s to open. In fact, I feel mine melting right now as we're doing this. Yeah.
So it would be holding the left 22 with the left hand and
Yes.
the left high one with the right hand.
Yes. So
Wonderful.
now you're on the same side. Yes. And then we can go to the right 22 and the right high one. So the right 22 with the right hand and the right high one with the left hand. Yeah. This feels great. So you have several ways of working with your 22s. And this last position that I'm showing you is to really help unblock them if they feel stuck or things are not moving down the front. And our 22s are going to help us through this 2020 year, help us to make spiritual concepts, help us to be grounded as we grow into this time of change. So Ale, thank you so much for hosting. It's such a pleasure working with you always.
Oh dear, I'm so thankful, and I think I have my new favorite. 22s, high ones. It's everything melted.
Oh, good.
It's so good. And I'm
Right.
reactivating the chat here so our
Right.
dear ones can speak. So
Wonderful.
thank you so much for sharing your wisdom, your light, your kindness with all of us. And we hope you all are safe, are taking good care of yourselves, and practicing the art. And in Mary's words, being your own testimony, so we can go through this period and emerge on the other side more whole and more peaceful. Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. Be safe, everyone. Be well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay.